This is a different era. I know through prayer better what happened to people like Suzuki, how Judo had to deal with things. He told you, though. He told you that, when he went to go meet those rich people in India, oh, he's just a servant. Like Alan Rickman's character on Quigley Down Under. Yeah. Judo had to go meet great world leaders, and that's how they were. And he told you publicly. He also told you about the time when he went to India with the rich guy that had all the money and the kids and the gold in the cabinets. And he sat there and said, and he's sitting there telling you, you don't have all this great wealth and all this great stuff. And, he has all this gold and all the kids are going to fight like hell over the gold after he dies. And he's smiling and he's happy and they're smiling and they're happy, and you guys vote for president. The president says, we're going to tariff. Maybe tariff and then God are the best words in the dictionary. We're going to make a buttload of money and it's going to get people mass murdered. And we're going to go take our best cans of whip ass and dump them all over the Iranians because they think they want to start playing. They blew away every crew they faced until they reached our block, which their woofers were through stars and was made of steel. And we rocked his butt with a 12-inch cut up disco kryptonite from Missouri, right? That's how it is. And you're like, what the fuck, you comic book fuckers are crazy, right? And then they all get together on a Sunday. Well, the Lord sayseth. The Lord says, taketh war planeth and droppeth the bombeth on the other rival gang that says they got the market cornered on bullshit goddessness. If the science project supporteth it, constantly seeking truth, right? And you're like, what? And it does not say that, okay? What? Jesus, even with the corruption of the corporations, what Jesus says in the Bible still holds water, and what your governments and scientific corporations do does not. Okay, same with the Quran. What it says in the Quran still holds water. What the corporations called the Saudi royal family are doing right now with their science projects does not hold water. Okay. It doesn't honor the gifts of life. It's not taking care of the planet that is given to you by God to take care of you and yours, faithfully, lovingly, respectfully, everything, even with the corruptions of them writing down the words to turn it into corporations, it still holds water. And everything that they're doing does not hold water. It's true. One day the bucket will go to the well. One day the bottom of the bucket will drop out, right? There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Well, take the straw with you, bitch. Why didn't she explain it? She was sarcastic. I didn't get it when I was a kid. I had to go watch it with Liza and Henry, with Harry Belafonte. And she be saying, okay, what straw? Well, what you going to do that it's with that, dear Henry? And she's like, what? It's straw, Henry. You ain't going to take the bucket and the straw to go down to get the water? And then once you can just stick the straw because you got to get it to swallow. Henry, it ain't that hard, man. She's just being obnoxious. Okay, well, she should just basically walk him through it. Dude, if you take the bucket and the straw with you to go get the water, you'll be able to mend it with the straw right there at the well with the bucket. Oh, yeah. And then you can bring back the bucket with some water in it. That's pretty smart, girl. I see why I married you. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Oh, because me and my sister and my brother-in-law's always had that conversation because they have that old Christian bullshit. The man's the head of the household. What if the man's an idiot? Val's married to Bob. Bob's an idiot. Okay. If he's the head of the household, we're all screwed. We're out kicking people out of their farms and building multi-million-dollar golf courses to drop bombs on other people trying to take. We blew away every crew we faced until they reached our block. You rock so naturally. I do it right because I can't do it wrong. That's why the whole world is singing this song. Jam on it. I'm Cosmo D from outer space. Because everybody knows if you listen to Michio Kaku and Neil deGrasse Tyson, it's because you ain't got the balls to stand up to all the bullies that you think will kill you and then try to turn you into a comic book character. All right. What does it matter? Look. The one dude doing the motorcycle that I sat and watched the motorcycle video, he says, it reminds me of my favorite verse in the Bible. He who, tries to save his life will lose his. And he who loses his life standing up for the faith for my faith will gain his back because life is eternal and grace is infinite. I say it all the frickin' time. Now buy me a motorcycle, sell me a motorcycle. Why do you need a motorcycle? For recreation. Okay, so you're going to recreate yourself to heart disease and cancer instead of live the Lord's Prayer. Right. And you're going to give your entire life away to this. Right. Did you think you just lost your life there? Son of a bitch. For $3,000. Was it 2,700? I don't remember. And you're like, why'd you do that in the parking lot? I would have taken it home in the shade and put it together. Yeah. And then drove it to Walmart and said, hey, it works. Well, I'm not a drama queen and I don't want to attract a crowd, especially in the parking lot of a Walmart. Son of a bitch. Those places are uncomfortable. And it's like, you might as well be sitting there. I guess it's, with the brain damage of the pit crews at the Formula One. Ooh, is that a super diva in a pink body tight suit? Ooh, think she'll have sex with me? No. Yeah, I kind of figured that one out. When? January 22nd, 2013. Well, actually, it was the 23rd. Okay. There's got to be a morning after, right? We can hold on till tomorrow. Yeah, there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. I got the straw in the bucket. I'm going to the well. You good? I'm good to go. I'll water myself, thank you. I have to look at pictures of my baby mamas and touch myself. When I think about you, I touch myself. I had to be the divinals. Yeah, that's how I survive. That's how I keep my prostate going. That's how I stay alive. Yeah. I don't have naked pictures. I just have pictures of their faces. Yeah. And it's a woman's face is enough to turn me on to remember, I remember California. That's REM. Yeah, it's not a very good song. It's not one of my favorites. What's your favorite REM song? That's a good question. What's your favorite REM song? I do like Man on the Moon, yeah. I like Drive, yeah. I like Automatic for the People. I think that's my favorite album of theirs, but I really do like Document. That's a good album, too. What if I run? What if I walk? Hey, kids, rockin'. Night Swimming, Schneidwider Seeps. That's a good one, too. Yeah, that's Automatic for the People. That's a good album. Call Me and Try to Wake Her. They're sarcastic. They're from Athens, Georgia, I think. Are they from the University of Georgia? Atheist from Georgia. Go figure. It makes sense. Yeah, it does. But no, it really does. Hypocrisy, man. Not all people from Georgia is Klan members and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? No, man. Russell Gardner, from Carolina. Jonesy. Good old Jonesy, man. Well, you should know better, sir. Writing up the base wing commander for being parked in the handicap thing because his wife took his spot and Jonesy wrote him up. And then he was no longer able to be an SP augmentee. Shit was funny. His dad was enlisted at Bragg. Put his foot up on his bumper and wrote him a ticket. So what are you doing? You know who I am? Yes, sir. You're the vice wing base commander. It says so on your car. You're supposed to set an example, sir. You should know better, sir. That's what he said, and he wrote him the ticket. And then his services as security police at Pope Air Force Base were required no more. And he was shooting hoops with us at Fleet Service the next day. Telling us all the story about it. Now that's Carolina Blue. That's Wolfpack Red. It's not Duke Blue, no. They're a private school. They can park anywhere they want. Nobody tolls the rolls. Remember that with Professor Gronkowski? It's like, I'd have towed it. I just got Jonesy. Before I turned around, Jones would already have his cousin there with the tow truck towing that rose off to North Carolina to a chop shop. We got to pay the bills somehow. He should have known better than park it there. Should have been like Trouble Man and had the two kids watch his car while he was in the pool hall. You know what I'm saying? He learned a lesson going around not hustling people strange to you. Yeah. Funny. Hey man, I'm an American Messiah. I'm coming to your town. I don't like to party down. No. A little B. Martinez, she's cute. She saw the one guy running. I'd like to be a fly on the wall. No, you wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall. You don't want to be the Messiah. You don't want to see and hear things that other people shouldn't hear because we're not living the Lord's Prayer. You wake up in the morning, they're at a professional basketball player's house. He starts talking shit to his wife because she never worked for anything. She got everything, came easy. Daughter lets into the mother. Yeah, she's right about you, Mom. You bitch about how dad does you wrong and stuff like that, but you don't work for anything. You're in the situation because you signed a contract and you didn't work for it. It came easy to you. And then the mom looks at the daughter and says, you look just like your father, so you better get really good at basketball because you're never going to be able to sleep your way to the top. Right? Wow, that sounds horrible. Doesn't it, though? And then if the dad and the daughter die in a helicopter crash, the mom gets all the money and gets to have sex with all the supermodel young men she wants. Because we're not living the Lord's Prayer. That sounds horrible. Yeah, I know. Why do you guys want to see the Epstein files? You get to watch it on Big Bang Theory, Married with Children, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Abbott Elementary. You ain't living the Lord's Prayer. And then there's me. Yeah, they were talking to me about me in law. Yeah, they probably would have killed Yolanda if I married her. I think that's why we couldn't stay together. Because if we would have had Andre, if we would have had our little boy, even if she screwed around, she would have felt bad because she would have a conscience because she's like her father. She's like Chief. She's a lot like Chief. Even if we had rough times, and I would always take her back because I'd be like, no, I'm not going to destroy our kids and our family because Mom made a mistake going out with a dumbass and came back to me because, I'm going to do the right thing no matter what. Law was the type that I would have been a college basketball coach if she'd been able to be alive and the military didn't kill her to turn me into a Phil Muramitsu book, which I still am to this day. Hey, hell, come on, Harold Clamp. You're the God, man. Build me a temple and I'll have people pay for membership and then I'll give them a secret word so they can, you want to get to God, give the master the nod. You can sit very still, look into the digital. There's a way to get to God if you want to. God's omniscient, omnipotent. You fucking morons. Just give him money. He'll give you a secret word and bam, God's right here. That's not God. That's where your brain plays out the movie theater of all the information it takes in through your senses, especially the eyes. Open your bucking eyes, you buccaneers. Gonna steal everything? It's the Pirates of the Caribbean. That shit ain't real. It's just to make money to sell products because you guys are all products of your ego. Oh, that's cool. I'll be back. See how long it takes them to load this one. This one? Okay.